can we begin? Let's just start sitting. I'm sitting, let's start sitting. Easy enough. So sitting up nice and tall, any comfortable sit. There's no right or wrong way to do this part. Where I'm sitting is something called, often called Burmese posture with one foot in front of the other. You could do simple cross-legged, which is called simple posture. It doesn't matter. Let your arms relax down. And think already of that invisible string drawing you up by the top of your head, lengthening your spine, and that slightly will have you tucking your chin just back. So it's not like you're tilting your head down, you're in neutral, but that lifting up is going to actually draw that spine into a neutral position. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears. And you can close your eyes or not close your eyes, it's up to you. Begin to watch your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. As always, if you need to take a couple of deep breaths and let it out through the mouth, that can feel really good. Maybe not. And then begin to regulate the breathing. Matching your inhale more or less to your exhale. Notice where the breath is going. Is it stopping at the chest? Are you breathing into your abdomen? Are your shoulders rising? Just be aware of that. Notice your heart rate. And take a quick scan over your body on this Monday. I was just complaining about my aches and pains. So notice where you're feeling it. Notice where you need it. And as we work through the practice, if there's a particular place that needs stretching for you, when we go into the postures that you're like, wow, I need this feels really good, just stay there for a moment. If you're watching this later, you can pause it. But even live, take the time. Maybe you need it more on one side than the other. You guys are at the mercy of me and what my body is sort of feeling in any given moment. But you're working with a completely different set of circumstances. So just notice, or if something feels really good and we come out of it, remember it, just go back to it. My hope is always that when we do things, and I do tend to do a fair amount of repetition, and that's partially intentional, because I want you to start getting used to how these postures feel in your body. And as I talk you through the alignment, finding that alignment and noticing, like right now when you're sitting, do you automatically sit with your spine erect and with your head in neutral and with your shoulders down? Hopefully, you don't necessarily need to imagine the sound of my voice. That may or may not be something you want to do. But just imagining the feelings of the aligned postures as I guide you through them so that you can find them on your own and hopefully practice outside of our time together. Next time you inhale, take a deep breath in as you extend your arms upwards overhead, gently opening your eyes, tilting your gaze up towards the ceiling, maybe even interlacing your fingers and stretching tall. And let's just stretch side to side for a moment. Inhaling and exhaling so you're pressing away. It's almost like tractioning your spine. You're creating extra length and then just bending side to side, creating some space. And working your way to center. Bring your hands behind you and just plant them on the floor and press the chest a little bit towards the sky. Tilt the gaze up. I like to think of this as like a sunbathing posture. It's just like you're tilting your face to the sun. Breathing it in, expanding the chest, and letting it go. Good, release that to neutral. Extend your legs out in front of you. And just pump your feet for a moment since we were just cross-legged. Just get that blood circulating in there, a little up and down action. Take a deep inhale once again, growing nice and tall, and release that down, letting the head drop. Maybe not pushing it too hard. I don't know what you've been doing, but if you've been sitting or you're feeling stiff or muscles are tight, you don't want to force this, right? So just take a couple deep breaths. Maybe flexing the feet, but maybe that's too intense. Maybe you don't want to flex the feet. Good, and bring yourself up. Let's do a seated single leg, what am I saying? Half spinal twist. Cross one leg over the other, doesn't matter which. I've got right over left. Sit up nice and tall, and then turn towards that leg, so the hand's gonna go behind, in my case, the right hand, and then you're either gonna hug the knee, or you're gonna bring the arm all the way over the knee, and that's gonna help you twist. Notice I'm not leaning back into this, right? We stayed nice and tall. This is just a light touch on the floor here to keep me up. That hand can go up if you want. It can reach down towards the foot if you want. If you want, there is a bind here. If any of you are interested in binding, the hand goes in between the legs and then grabs the hand behind. But make sure you can stay tall. If you're like crunching over, you've lost the point of the twist. Good, and then unwrap yourself from that. Switch sides. So I've got left crossed over right. Again, sitting up tall. Probably should have done this one first because then you can see me. Hugging the knee, although you don't see the bind as well, or bringing that arm over. And again, if bringing the arm over compromises the twist and the shape of your spine, then just stay here. If you stay more sitting upright here, that's fine. Again, the hand can stay where it is. It can come to the foot. You could do the bind. Play around with it. Maybe we'll go really crazy today and we'll work towards bird of paradise. See how it goes. All right, just in case we get there, let's go ahead and lift up one leg, cradle it in your arm, and just opening up the hip here. So you're just sort of swinging, moving through that joint, and hopefully feeling a bit of a stretch. And then maybe pause with the swinging and just see where you need to be to get a good stretch. So this is a precursor to bringing the foot behind your head. I can't even begin to do that. But if you're more flexible and you want to lift that up and put that overhead, that's fine. What I can do is put it up over my shoulder. Maybe that feels good. Maybe you just pull that foot towards you. Just see what is giving you a stretch. You should be feeling it here in the hip kind of region. So just working within your own body, but thinking that if we were to go to the final version of this, it would be your foot behind your head. I realize none of us are doing that today. So just thinking about that. But again, sitting tall. Good. And go ahead and then just release that leg and bring the other leg in. And give that a little rock. Opening up through the hip. It's like you're rocking your baby. And then pausing with the movement and just holding a static stretch. Same thing, whatever you want to do. As you just start lifting, you'll notice that you're going to get more of a stretch. So as if you're aiming to get that foot behind your head. Really, honestly, only people who are kind of hypermobile are going to be able to do that. Or I mean, in theory, you could be working for a really long time, but you really do have to almost move your hip totally out of its socket, which, in my opinion, isn't necessarily great for your ligaments and tendons. So we want to stretch and create flexibility, but we also don't want to overstretch. That being said, I have seen people do that who are not necessarily hypermobile and have not hurt themselves. So everybody is different. All right, let's release that. Let's come to rolling for a moment, rolling in tabletop. So bringing your legs up in front of you in that tabletop position, hands on calves or ankles, starting with a nice tall spine. You're balancing on your sit bone. Not doing this if you have pain in your spine or any osteoporosis in your spine. And then you're going to tuck your chin towards your chest, really pull that belly button in, start to round yourself over, rounding down, rolling to shoulders, and then rolling back up. So you should be feeling that you're sort of massaging one vertebra at a time, on the way down and one vertebra at a time on the way up. There's a minimal amount of momentum here, right? It's controlled. Next time you come up, hold it for a moment. Extend one leg out, just outside the hip. I'm going to turn so you can see. It's maybe not the most ladylike position, but I want you to see that I'm not really, really, really wide. And then see if you can extend the other leg. Now, if your legs are straight here, that's fine, but if they've got a bend in them, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders down and back. If you want to get some more stretch, you could open those legs out. I usually have you not do this, but if we're stretching through the inner thighs, you could do that. See if you can keep it in control, and then bring them back in. Staying tall, chest is lifting. I'm going to turn back this way so you can see the long spine. Nice and lifted. And then see if you can let go. Balancing, chest lifted, belly in. I'm shaking. Were you shaking? Bring the legs together. Bring the arms up. And then with control, lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Give yourself a stretch overhead. Good. We're going to do crisscross, but we're just going to do one leg at a time. So, bring the leg to tabletop. Bring your left hand, I take that back, you can bring both hands behind your head. Both hands behind your head. Pull the belly button in. Bring your knees right over your hips. We're just going to be like doing repeater on one side. So you're going to bring the knee in, extend the leg, opposite elbow reaches towards the floor and back to center. And then again, back to center. I'm going to turn this way just so you can see me. Opposite elbow towards the floor, knee in, other leg extended. So I'll stay on this side. Exhaling as you twist, inhaling back to center. Exhale, pause, inhale, pause. And you stay lifted the whole time. Shoulder blades never completely come down to the mat. And twist for 3. Last one, back to center. Other side, twist and twist. So it's definitely not a race. Pausing at each position. And 3. And 2. Last one. And release down. Good. Press the heels into the mat. Lift the hips up. Take a deep breath. And bring that all back down. Good. Let's lift both legs up. We're going to do rollover. So rollover is challenging for some people because some people can't lift up and roll over. If that is the case, I want you to just work on the lift up. So the lift up is a lift and a lower with control. Straight up, straight down. That's option 1. Option 2, we're going to go all the way over, separate the legs, that same little separation that we did a moment ago, not the big one, and then we're going to roll all the way down. Swoop the legs together, bringing them down, lower towards the horizon, but belly stays in, back stays on the mat, and then up and over again. Open, lower down with control, swoop the legs together, up and over. And you'll notice my feet actually aren't touching the floor behind me. I'm keeping my legs basically parallel to the floor. If they touch the floor, that's fine, but they don't have to. Some people feel like you have to touch the floor. You do not. Up and over, and release. Inhale, swoop together, exhale over, inhale, separate, exhale, lower down. All right, now we're going to change this up. So start with the legs separated, again, just outside the hips, not real wide. And it's the reverse movement. So we go up, bring the legs together, slowly lower down, lower down, lower down, lower down, swoop them open, and bring them over. Exhale on the way down. Inhale, open. Exhale, over. This is one of my favorites. It feels so good on the spine. And just massage yourself. The slower you go, the harder it is. The more of a massage you get. And we'll do one more. And release that down. Good, bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a little rock from side to side. All right, we're gonna come to our stomachs. Get there however you want. Rocking up, and then coming around, and then lowering yourself down onto your stomach. I turned around because I needed to be able to see the time, and my phone was here. Okay, lower all the way down. We're gonna do baby swan. I'm actually gonna teach you the full version of Pilates swan today. So we're gonna start with the prep for it. So the hands come under the shoulders. As you inhale, the hands slide out and we come to extended arms, but our hips are still in the mat. Glutes are really tight here to protect the back. And then we lower down. Inhale, slide out. And exhale, slide back in. Inhale, slide out. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, release. Good. Press into your hands, push yourself up, come to hands and knees. And work through a couple cow-cats just to loosen up that spine. I want you to remember that feeling because we're going to come back and revisit that swan. And like I said, I'll give you the option to do the more advanced version of it if you'd like. Press up to counteract that swan that we just did. Really press into your hands. Pull the belly up towards the spine. I feel like I need to twist. Maybe you do too. Maybe you need to wag your tail. And then come back to neutral. Give your head a shake. Just make sure you're not holding any tension in there. Good. Curl the toes under. Push up and just hover for a moment. Take a couple breaths. Another breath. And push all the way up, coming to down dog. Good. Press your heels towards the mat, jogging through if you need to, of course. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Inhale, come out to plank. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, press back. And 3 more. And 2. Last one, holding plank. Okay, we're going to practice one arm at a time on our plank. So you always have the option to drop down here to your knees, making yourself at an angle. Otherwise, you're going to pick either hand up, I don't care which, and tap your shoulder and back. Trying not to move your body too much. Tap and back, and tap and down. The slower you do this, the more control, the better. And 3, and 2. Last one. Other side, lift up and tap. And tap. So I definitely shift when I do this. The idea is to not. But I too am human. And this is hard. And 4, 3, 2. Last one, plank. Hug the elbows to the rib cage as you lower down. Can you hover? Challenge yourself. Hover above the mat. Hover, hover, hover. Elbows hug the ribs. Squeeze it for 3, for 2, and come to your up dog. Flip the feet, pull the shoulders down and back. Find an up dog and hold it for a moment. Or you can be in cobra if this bothers your back. In your up dog, check that your elbows are not locked. Mine do sometimes, but it's not ideal. Roll the shoulders down. Chest is lifting, gaze is slightly up. We're not thrusting our head back, squeezing the glutes. You should definitely feel like you're working right now. This should not be easy. You don't want to drop into it. That makes it easy and it hurts your back. Curl your toes under, press up, downward facing dog. Hold there. Okay. Come back out to your plank. This is neither strictly yoga nor Pilates, but I just love it. You're in for a treat. You should always be scared when I love something. Okay, these are, I think we call these Spider-Man. I'm not really sure. I don't know that they have a name. What we're going to do is from your plank, you're going to step your foot up to the outside of your other foot and step back. And then we're going to do the other side and step back. And then we're just going to keep going. And step and back. That's 2. And step and back. So it's not super fast. Pausing at the top. I think this is round 6. I suck at math. 7. That's why the hundreds are especially challenging. You always do way more than 100. We're going to call that 8. And then your next one, we're going to come to lizard. So step that foot up. Go ahead and release the back knee down if you want. Bring your forearms to either the mat or a block. So check that the knee is over your ankle. I can actually come back a little bit. You don't want the foot all the way here. Knee over ankle. And it's better to be on forearms. So if you can't reach the floor, then just put yourself up on a block. And then if you want, pop up, press through the back heel, and breathe into this luxurious posture. Opening up through the center, the inside is the word I'm looking for, the inside of your hip. Try to keep your foot on the floor. If you're rolling out onto the pinky edge of your foot, you're actually not going to get as good a stretch. You want to have your foot planted, your hip is planted, and then you're pressing your shoulder against that thigh, and that's what's creating the stretch. Good. Press yourself back up to plank. Step that foot back. Step the other one forward. If you want, you can just leave that leg lifted, or you can bring it down, and then find forearms to whatever surface you're working with. Never feel like it's bad to be using a block for anything. Sometimes it might have to do with your flexibility. Sometimes it might have to do with your body shape, your proportions. Sometimes, those are kind of the two main things. Sometimes you just don't want to. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. It doesn't mean you are bad at yoga. First of all, there's no such thing as bad at yoga. And second of all, using a prop just means that you're helping your body stay in its best alignment, so you're getting the best version of the posture for yourself. That's what that means. Who are you competing with, right? When I talk to you, the idea is to distract you from the discomfort that you might be feeling. This is not a super popular pose. Okay, press yourself back up and step back to plank. We're going to hover again, so lower all the way down, slowly, slowly, so you can do this from knees, and then hover. So your elbows are hugging your rib cage. You're just above the mat. You're not sticking your butt way high up in the air. 3, 2, and 1, and let it go. Okay, so now I'm going to give you the option to do the full version of swan. So, reviewing, we're going to inhale and slide out, exhale and come back. If that works for you, just keep that up. If you'd like to bring this to the more intense version, your feet come up and you add some momentum into this one. So it looks like this. So I'm pressing in, inhaling up, legs counter, press back up. So if you want to try it, just do maybe 3 or 4. Once you've done a few, come up to that swan posture and hold it. Squeeze the glutes. Release that, slide the hands back, push up and back, come to child's pose. Reach the hands forward, or alternatively bring them down by your side. Bring your knees together for this though, so you're rounding your back over. And if you felt any pressure doing that in your low back, then just stick to the regular version, the modification. That's a fairly advanced Pilates move. Slide the hands out. Press yourself back up to plank. Now we're going to do one leg at a time. So lift one leg up. And while we're here, let's make little pulses with it. Now, I'm not going up past my hip because I don't want to put anything into my low back. So I'm just lifting up and down, teeny movement, and lower. Switch sides. Recently, I read an article about this guy. He was like an ex-Marine. I mean, he could have taken all of us on at one time. He was in his 50s or 60s, but like in unbelievable shape. And he switched sides, did an 8-hour plank. He did it from his forearms, and he did it to raise awareness, I think, for PTSD. But he held a plank for 8 hours. So anytime you feel like we're holding planks for a long time, just imagine. The human body could do it for so much longer. Place that foot down one more time, other side, little pulses. You can skip the pulses on this. You could just hold it steady. We won't do 8 hours. We won't even do 8 minutes. We won't even do 2 minutes. Place that foot down, press up, down dog. Deep breath. Let's do a lion's breath in case you were holding your breath there. Take an inhale. Open your mouth, stick out your tongue. Let it go. One more. Shake your head, no. Nod your head, yes. Extend your right leg up, opening the hip, drop that foot to the other side. Make circles with that leg. Big, juicy circles of your hip. Reverse that. Come back to center. Bring the leg all the way through, come up to a lunge, high lunge. Hands at heart center. Good, so deep bend in the front knee as much as you want, pushing back through the back leg, no more than 90 up here. Trying to stay lifted through the chest. Good, let's turn towards that leg that's up front, the right leg in my case, maybe the same for you. Extending your arms, but we're staying high. Take a deep breath. Exalted warrior, back arm goes down, top arm comes up. Good, coming back up. Now we're going to take this to a low twist. Bring the hands to heart center. The elbow either comes to the top or binds against the thigh. Whoa, I'm falling over talking to you. And bring that hand to the heart center rather than up here. They love to migrate there. If you are falling over like I was falling over, you can drop your back knee onto the mat. Turning your head, looking past your upper shoulder. Deep breath. Good, bring the hands to the mat. Normal vinyasa, step the foot down, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left leg comes up, bend that knee, open up that hip. And make big circles with that leg. Reverse direction. Good, bring that leg back to center. Swing it through, plant it down, rising up, high lunge. Pushing through the back heel, knee over ankle. Twisting towards the leg, extend the arms. I like to imagine I can push back with this back arm, and that creates a twist, like you're pressing against something that can make you twist even more. You can always bend deeper into it as long as you're not tracking out over toes. Keep pushing through the back heel, creating a stretch in your hamstring. Let the back arm go down, front arm comes up, exalted warrior, without putting pressure on that leg, it's just in space. Good, coming back up, hands to heart center, twist. So elbow to the top of the thigh, or binds against the thigh. Back knee could find the mat. Hands at heart center, looking up past the top shoulder. Good, bringing the hands to the mat, step back, vinyasa. Up dog or cobra, down dog. Extend that right leg up. Swing it forward, plant it down, find warrior one. So the back heel plants. The hips stay forward, arms can extend only if you want to, they do not have to. So I'm going to stay this direction even though my back is going to be to you in a moment, so you can see that angle. Open this up to warrior two. So you can go as deep as you want. Again, we're not going more than 90, mine's less. Well, I guess it's a bigger angle than 90, less bent. Shoulders down and back. Think of squeezing your shoulder blades together. You can create a lot of strength in your back here. Arms are strong too, no spaghetti arms for our Dirty Dancing fans. Okay, side ankle bend. So we're going to hold this, so you have options. First option is here. Elbow is on the thigh. Chest is open, top shoulders towards the ceiling. So it's like I'm between two panes of glass. If you want to take this deeper, your hand can find the floor, or this is another time that a block is really good. Notice my back is still flat. I'm not rounding over. And that arm extends, and I stay in a deep bend. If you want to bind this, the hand that's on the floor reaches in between the legs, grabs the hand in the back, and you look up past the shoulder. But again, notice my back has not gotten all twisted and rounded and funky. If you can't keep the chest open to the front, don't bind. It's not a requirement. So wherever you are, hold it for another breath. If the hand is on the floor, you can be pressing your leg against that arm and creating that stretch. Okay, if you binded yourself, unbind, cartwheel the hands to the mat, step that foot back, chaturanga. And press back down dog. So to see it from this side, this is one of those ones, sometimes having a mirror is helpful, but it's definitely better to do this one and stay in alignment. So extend the left leg up overhead, swing it forward, plant it down, pivot the back foot, rising up, Virabhadrasana 1. Working to pull that back hip forward, pushing into the pinky edge of the back foot, chest opening towards the sky, only as deep a bend as you want. Opening this up to your warrior two. I always have to scooch my feet back. Shoulders down and back. Again, as deep a bend as you want, but notice I'm not hinging forward. I'm right over my hips, shoulders, right over hips. Gazing out, pulling the shoulder blades together, energy shooting out your fingertips. It's warrior, it's a very strong posture. You'll notice how much work these postures are holding them. If you feel like you're not doing any work, go deeper, more energy. And we're going to take this to side ankle bend. So again, hand can come to the thigh, hand can come to the hip. Start here because then you get that sensation of that open chest, the stacked shoulders. If you want to take this down, the hand can go inside or outside the foot. Inside, then you press that arm against the leg. Chest is still open. Opposite arm extends. And I'm not collapsed onto my leg. I'm lifted here. I'm not laying across my thigh. And then if you want to bind, the hand reaches in between the leg. And notice my chest hasn't changed. Shoulder towards the ceiling, looking up towards the ceiling. My idea is to get into this one more time and show you bird of paradise, so hopefully we get there. Taking a breath. Good, pivot that back around, find the floor, step that foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Holding there for a breath. Good, right leg swings up. Let's hinge forward this time 5 times. Knee to chest and forward. And back up. And 2. And back up. And 3. And 4. And 5, hold it, press up, away from the flame, lower, press up, and lower, and 3, and 2. Last one, kick the leg way up again overhead, and step it forward, high lunge. I love those hinges forward. Like when I do my practice, I always do them. That's something I probably do every single day. In case you're wondering. Okay, deep bend, hands at heart center. All right, so I have felt like my balance has been a bit off today, so we're gonna see how this goes. If I stumble, that's okay. That doesn't mean you have to stumble. We are going to come up onto this front knee. We're gonna bring our back knee, my left knee in front of us, and then we're gonna twist away from it. And then we're gonna try to find our stability and step back, okay? So launching onto the front foot, left leg comes up, turn towards the left, extend the arms in balance, come back to center, extend that leg out, and then step it back into the lunge. How'd we do? So we're gonna do that fluidly, but not necessarily faster. So we're gonna come up, we're gonna twist, back to center, little kick, and step back down. 3 more. Up, and twist, back to center, and kick, and down. Up, twist, center, extend, and lunge. Last one, up, and twist, center, extend, and down. Good. Let's just do 5 lunges from here, just dipping that back knee down for 5, 4, not tracking out over the toes of the front one, 2, last one, good. Hands find the floor, step that foot back, chaturanga, cobra up dog, exhale down dog. Other side, left leg extends. Hinge forward out over the hands for 5, exhale for 4, kick back, 3, and 2. Last one, lower down, lift up, dip down, lift up, and 3, and 2. Last one, kick all the way up one more time, just really hard to get into a lunge from that position. And then swing that leg forward, plant it down, high lunge. I have found that when you're there and you've like used all that strength, if you try to step your foot forward, it doesn't work very well. All right, same thing on this side. Are we ready? Launching onto the front foot, knee up, twist, woo, back to center, extend, that's what I was talking about. Foot down. Success. And up. And lift. And twist. And center. Extend. And down. 3 more. Two more. Woo. And twist. Back to center. Extend. And down. I'm going to try to stick the landing on this one. Last one. Up and twist. Back to center. Extend and down. So if you ever feel bad because you're falling, that was me. That's my left foot. It's harder, my balance is off today. It is what it is. Dipping down for 5, for 4, 3, 2, last one, bending over, hands find the mat, step that foot down, lower all the way down, up to your up dog, press back to down dog, and then drop your knees to the mat, sit back on your heels in a resting warrior or child's pose. All right, curl the toes under, push yourself up. Downward facing dog. Extend the right leg up. Option to drop over into a wild thing from here. Pressing up through the hips. See if you can extend the left leg while the right leg stays bent. You look up over the back hand, reaching through, giving yourself a stretch. Press the hips up. Good, come back around. And when you're ready, step that foot all the way forward, rising up, warrior one. Open that out, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. I like the hand behind the back. Opposite arm comes up. And then find a side angle bend. So option one, down to the mat. Or you can bind, and I'm going to show you Bird of Paradise this time. Or I'm going to try to show you Bird of Paradise. We'll see how it goes. So your option to either hold this position, or if you want to try this advanced balancing move, you need to be in the bind first. So find a bind, even if it means you mess up your alignment. If you just want to try it, that's fine. Find your bind. Step the left foot, the back foot forward. Your weight's going to be on the left foot. Keep the bind and begin to lift the right foot off the mat, rising to standing. And then if you get to standing, you start to extend that leg that's in the bind. As much as you are able. If you came up to that Bird of Paradise, go ahead and lower that foot back down. Step back, find your side angle bend. Everyone press up to warrior two. And then cartwheel that hand over, find the mat, step the right foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left leg comes up and opens, flipping the dog if you'd like. The right leg extends, hips press up, left arm reaches overhead, push the left hip to the sky. If you flipped, flip back, extend that leg, step it forward, rising up, warrior one. Opening that to your warrior two. If you're adjusting it two, you should have your front heel in a line with about the arch of your back foot, more or less. Reverse your warrior, hand goes behind the back, front palm flips up. See if you can bend the knee a little bit more deeply here. And back up. Okay, same idea. You can come here and just be in a side angle bend up high. If you want to work down to the floor, that's fine. If you want to work on the bind, that's fine. So everybody holding side angle bend for a moment. And then if you want to do Bird of Paradise, even if binding means you get all kind of twisty and contorted, that's fine for the sake of working on Bird of Paradise. So go ahead and see if you can grab your hand and then step the back foot forward, next to the front. Once you've got your balance there, begin to rise up onto the standing leg. And then once you get standing, if you can extend the opposite leg, trying to stand tall, but obviously there's a lot going on with this posture. Finding a point to focus on. I don't recommend talking while you do this. Good, if you found Bird of Paradise and you're ready to come out of it, step that foot down and step the foot back with perfect grace. And then rise up, coming to warrior two. Cartwheel down, hands find the mat, stepping back, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, up dog, exhale, press back, down dog. Drop down to knees. Curl yourself in a little ball. Let your arms come down by your side. Round your back over your legs. And breathe. Good, bring yourself up. Okay. just because I'm in the mood to challenge you. We're going to work on a headstand, but you don't need to do a headstand. You can do a couple of different things. So I like to do a headstand with my hands like so on my head, but you can also work on tripod headstand. So if you know that you don't want to lift your legs up, you can go to a wall and do this by a wall. But otherwise, you can start in tripod. So your hands form two of the feet of the tripod, and your head forms the third. So you can just start here and start with one leg up, just getting a feeling of this. And honestly, if you roll over in this, it's not a terrible thing because it gets you that feeling of tucking your head and rolling over. I'm not going to say it feels good, but it's better here than if you get up into a headstand. So if you can get to this balancing position, that's one thing you can work on. If you want to go to a wall and you want to do it with hands cupping your head, you can. But what's important is we're not kicking into a headstand. We lift our feet off the floor and we begin to unfurl our body one section at a time until we come up. You want to make sure you're on the crown of your head, not forward, not back. And you could stop this at any point. You could maybe just tuck into a ball and say, okay, I just want to stay here. Because if you fall over from here, again, it hurts a lot less than if you fall over from up top. But again, you can do it against a wall. Some teachers advocate not using a wall. I'm not one of those teachers. I advocate the wall. If you don't want to do any of those, but you want to do an inversion, come on into a shoulder stand. And if you're like, nope, I don't want anything like that, put a block under you and come to legs up. And whenever you're ready, if you're doing a headstand, you can come down. But you can stay up. You could switch to a different one. I only did just for the sake of showing you. I found I can't do a headstand and a shoulder stand at the same time. Doesn't work very well. Once you're done headstanding, come to child's pose. Once you're done in a shoulder stand or with legs up a block or legs up the wall, hug your knees into your chest. So everyone's in a ball. You're either on a ball in your front or a ball on your back. Those of you in child's pose, go ahead and roll over and join us on your back. And everybody give yourself a hug and a rock. I gave you a moment to catch up from wherever you are. I have no idea, because I can't see you. If any of you are working on headstands and you can't do them, I really do encourage doing it against the wall. What I hate is when students kick into a headstand. You need to use your core, that's why we do all this core work, and pull yourself into it. And then you won't, you're less likely to injure yourself. And if you do against the wall, you just start to get comfortable where you can pull your feet against the wall and you find that feeling of balance, and then you can do it without the wall. We'll come to fish, so bringing the hands under the body. Even if you did a headstand, you can still do a fish. Toes, fingers towards the toes, open up and drop your head to the mat. Opening up through the chest. Take a couple breaths. Good, release out of that. Bring yourself to a sit. We're going to do one reverse plank. Fingers pointing towards the heels. Push yourself up into reverse plank. Option to bend the knees. You can plant the feet on the floor and come to tabletop. Roll the shoulders back. Actively stretch. This is an excellent stretch for your shoulders. It's really good for your posture. Pull the shoulders back, press the hips up. But if your hips are dropping, bend your knees. And come to here. Chin towards chest. You sometimes see this with the head dropping back. I really disagree with that because I don't think it's great on your neck. I'd rather you support your head. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Arms extend up, and release down. This time, because we've been doing more, if you want to grab your toes, your feet, your ankles, and actually pull your body down and get a deeper stretch, you may. Rolling yourself up, bending your knees, extending your arms and hinging back, chest open, belly in, chin to chest still, not looking back. Bring the knees up to tabletop. We're going to do 2 teaser preps and then 2 teasers. So from here, we're going to roll down. Just tap our shoulder blades and roll right back up to here. Not past it, just to here. Oh, and the legs are going to extend. So, actually I lied, the legs are going to stay right here. We're just going to roll down, leave the legs at tabletop, pull back up. Do it again. Roll down, pull back up. If that was hard, put your feet on the floor and do it from there. If you want more of a challenge, extend your legs, full teaser. Pull the belly button in, roll down to shoulder blades, roll back up to tease. Roll down to shoulder blades, roll back up to tease. Everybody hold it wherever you are, either legs extended, feet on the floor, or legs at tabletop. Raise the arms up, open them wide, press them together. Raise them up, open wide, and press. Last time. Raise them up and lower down to the mat. Give yourself a stretch. Hug your right knee into the body. Pull it over to a twist, looking over your left shoulder. If your knee doesn't touch the floor, bring your left knee under it to support it, or put a block under it. Back to center, switch sides, left leg in. Pull the leg over to a twist, looking over the left shoulder. And back to center. Both knees into the chest, coming to happy baby, reaching hands between the legs. And then extend the legs onto the mat. Shake it out. Do whatever you need to do to make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes, turn your palms up. Let go of the breath. If you're holding it, exhale through the mouth. And then just allow yourself to rest and to relax. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Letting the heart rate slow, letting the breath slow. With every exhale, feel yourself sink a little more deeply into the mat. As thoughts enter your mind, as they are likely to do, just let them go, and once again, bring the mind back to the breath. Inhale and exhale. That's all you have to do right now. Begin to bring your focus back. Reawakening your muscles, beginning to move them. And drawing your knees towards your chest, rolling over to either side. Taking a moment to thank yourself for your practice. As you lie there in that safe, protected position, curled up into yourself. And then when you're ready, bring yourself to a sit. As you started the class, or a different seated posture. Tall but relaxed spine, letting go of tension in your face and your neck and your shoulders. Hands and arms just resting wherever is comfortable. From right where you are, just let your head fall to either side. Just giving yourself a stretch in the side of the neck. And lift your head up to center. And let it fall to the other side. Back up to center. And let it drop, chin towards the chest. Feeling a stretch in the back of your neck. Taking a breath there. Letting go of tension. And bring the gaze up, again with the eyes closed as if you're tilting towards the light of the sun. And head back to center. And we'll just leave you with one thought. I've been doing another meditation series with Deepak Chopra, and every day he has a centering thought. And today's centering thought was, I welcome change with joy and acceptance. I am receptive and accepting in the present moment. I am receptive and accepting in the present moment. And take one last scan of your body, noticing any changes, noticing how you feel, checking in with yourself. One of the goals of yoga is better body awareness, that mind-body connection. So many people go through their lives so disconnected. And oftentimes that's where illness and disease can come from, if we're just so unaware that something's wrong, that we don't do anything about it. When you practice yoga, you have that mind-body connection. So number one, you're less likely to have some of those ailments because this rest, this meditation, this movement helps keep your body healthy. But also if something is off, you notice it, you're aware of it, and you can do something about it. That's important. Extending your arms up overhead to give yourself a stretch. Press your hands together, draw them down into your heart. Om Shanti Om. I wish you peace. Namaste. And thank you for sharing your practice with me tonight.